Welcome back to the Anchor Down podcast. This is season 2, episode 16. I'm your host, Ian Larrabee.
And I'm Carter Collins.
Today we've got a good bit to talk about. Just came off of kind of a longer weekend. MLK Day yesterday, on Monday. We did not have school. It's kind of nice, I did nothing at all. No, not true, actually. I cleaned my room,
Yeah,
did my laundry, got ready for the week. A lot of sports, though, happened last week and then into this previous weekend here.
Boys hockey team had their bye week last week.
Oh, that's right.
And so they didn't have any games, but they're at Hermantown tonight.
At Hermantown, going down there.
That'll be a big game for them. See where kind of get a feel of where they're really at. Playing Hermantown, because
definitely
Hermantown's always kind of on top, I feel like, in hockey.
Right, and they haven't played them yet this year. Last year, they played them in the section, was it the finals, right?
Something.
And they lost. It was a close game, though. Because they beat them once last year, and we thought, they could get that win, didn't quite pull it off. But we'll see how that goes tonight. I don't think I'm going to be making that drive down there.
Probably not.
But the girls hockey team, they play tonight, Tuesday. It's a home game against Cloquet. It's going to be their senior night, so they'll do all that cool stuff of whatever, honoring parents, seniors. And then the girls, they just got off of a win against Northern Lakes this past weekend here. They beat them 7-2.
Yeah.
So that was a big win for them. They've been on a little bit of a losing streak. Been kind of struggling, but that's a big win right there.
That's a lot for
Yeah.
a hockey game. That's crazy.
Just saw in the newspaper that one girl, she had 4 goals against them. I think she was like a 8th or 9th grader, maybe. So a young girl too, 4 goals. That's something right there.
That's
man.
something.
So yeah, they'll play. I think they're all combined. Cloquet, Esco, Carleton technically tonight. And talking with them should be another win here, hopefully, but you never know.
That'd be awesome. Get a win over Esco. Just an Esco team.
Just all those teams on there. Yeah, and it's parent nights or senior night, whatever, so that's always good to get a win on that night.
Speaking of Esco, the girls basketball team did lose to them last week, but they're at home against Proctor tonight, and then they got another home game against Cloquet on Friday, so 2 back-to-back for them.
Couple games this week, yeah.
With the pickup. Everyone likes to beat Proctor. Everyone hates losing to Proctor.
No kidding. Yeah, we speaking of that, we wrestling team on last Friday, we went down to Proctor and we wrestled them and we got the win, but it was like this close, and I'm like, man, if we lose to Proctor, if we would have lost, that'd have been the first time in years, as long as I can remember, that we would have lost to Proctor. But I went out there and pinned that kid, and we got the win. We were down by 3 points going into my match, so I was kind of frightened.
I feel like no matter who's the better team, though, you're always going to have a close game with Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what it is, football, everything, it's always close with them.
Yeah, we lost them this year in football.
We did, yeah. That was
tragic. But they pulled me out of the game. It wasn't even that bad of a concussion, dude. It was just minor. It was a minor one, not a major one. I could have kept playing. Gus said no. So the girls, they had that loss to Esco. They've kind of been back and forth this year a little bit with their wins and losses. But tonight, hopefully, get that win over Proctor, and then Friday, another win this week. That'd be good for them. Boys basketball, they're at home versus Rapids this Thursday, right? And then at Bemidji on Friday.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back games for them.
2 back-to-back games. When was their last game?
They played last Saturday right at noon. I know they lost by 4. I don't remember who they played, but it was a 4-point game that they just kind of fell short in. But I know they had a home game right then on Saturday. So
Yeah, close games. Same with the girls. We've been saying they're kind of going a little bit back and forth. Boys have been struggling a little bit more, though, than the girls. So hopefully they can get something going here. Just keep moving forward.
Especially against Rapids, to pick up a first win of the year against them.
That'd be a good one, right?
Be good momentum for them.
There was a ski meet. There was one on Saturday, and then there was one yesterday on Monday. I was talking with Samuel Gabardi about it this morning. He said it was just frigid, just so unbelievably cold outside, like just so terrible to have to ski in. And I know they were at They were at Giants Ridge on Saturday, and then somewhere down in Duluth yesterday. I saw someone who was like the MLK invite or whatever, but they did all right. I think they did better on Monday than they did Saturday, but that extreme cold is just terrible to have to ski in.
It was just cold.
Oh.
Right for everything this weekend.
Just so bad.
Tried going fishing out on Vermilion.
Really?
Even in the ice shack, just freezing.
Yeah, we came home Saturday night from our wrestling tournament, and I go over to MB to start up my car, and hop in that, and I had a blanket with me, luckily, wrapped up in a blanket, sat there for like 10 minutes to let that car warm up, because it was so cold, and I'm sitting there like shaking in there. Gosh. Yeah, so the ski team, they're doing all right this year, girls and boys. There's a couple kids, I can't remember whatever they placed, but I know a couple kids did pretty solid yesterday. Overall, the team didn't do half bad either. So they're, keep moving forward. Now that there's actually a lot of real snow going on, skiing's a little bit better, but that cold does kind of mess with the snow too. It makes it super hard. And it gets a little slick sometimes too on those, because like when you start hitting all those corners, it just kind of like keeps it icy, almost like
almost
it's just
like
up.
ice.
Yeah. And then the swimming team, boys swimming team, they last Tuesday, so a week ago, they had a meet at Rock Ridge, and then this past Saturday they had true team sections, which was at Rapids. And I haven't heard too much about swimming this year, honestly. I don't know. I just haven't been like. There's not that many. I don't even know. Maybe I just don't know that many kids in it. I know like one or two kids in swimming and diving. I heard true team though didn't go the best, maybe, or at least not overall. But like for some kids, it wasn't bad. They'll take it. But yeah, swimming, they're kind of coming up. I don't know. I feel like they just have a weird season. Swimming's just weird.
It's been really spaced out between meets and everything else.
Yeah.
So just all over the place.
Right. And then wrestling, lastly us, we were at Proctor on Friday. This past Friday we wrestled Proctor and Rush City. Both teams are in our section. We lost to Rush City and then beat Proctor, so 1-1 on Friday. Wasn't terrible, but I think we could have done better. And then we drove down to Elk River, and then Saturday we wrestled in Elk River for an individual tournament. And overall, as a team, we placed like 5th at the tournament, and then individually, kids, it's kind of a little bit back and forth. A couple of us did pretty solid. Some other kids struggled a good bit. A good tournament, though. A lot of solid competition. A couple like AAA schools, so bigger schools, which is, I kind of like that. It's nice to get some good competition like that for everyone. And this week, on Thursday, we are going to Piers. So we wrestle Piers and Grand Rapids, which again, 2 section teams. We already wrestled Rapids once. We lost to them the other week. We haven't wrestled Piers at all, but Piers they're quite solid. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then on Friday, we are leaving to go to Thief River Falls. So we have a tournament in Thief River Falls on Saturday. So we're leaving Friday after practice, and that'll be a decent one. That's a pretty big tournament for us. We've never gone to it, but there's like 15 teams there, and it is some single A teams, few double A teams, and a triple A team or 2 as well. So it's kind of just a good mix of everyone. So that'll be hopefully get some wins for all of us there. Some tough matches though for sure too. I think that's all the sports
That's
really,
pretty
right?
much wraps up school sports anyway.
Yeah. Other than that, we're coming to the end of the quarter here for school. That's the end of this week. This Friday is the last day of the quarter, and then we get next Monday off as well. So we'll have another Monday off.
We'll take it.
Yeah, no kidding.
No one likes coming to school on Monday.
Mondays are the worst. But now Tuesday turns into Monday. Today's like a Monday.
Yeah,
Somebody
really
forgot.
felt like it.
Somebody even forgot about the show today.
I sure did. Just felt like a Monday. Walked into 4th hour English and it's kind of like, what am I doing here? Kind of had a moment of realization.
Yeah. There's end of the quarters coming up here. Friday, right? Yeah, last Friday there was the NHS blood drive was going on at the school. I think that went pretty well. A lot of people, sign up to donate blood. I couldn't donate this time. I did earlier this year, but I gave like doubles, so I couldn't even donate. They like didn't have them spaced out far enough. You have to like wait a certain amount of time in between, and I couldn't donate. But that was cool. Everyone that signs up to do that. If you're able to, it's a nice way to give back to people that might need it. So if you're able to and you're healthy, you have blood to give, and just because you never know, maybe it could be you in the need of some blood, and hope somebody got their sucked out of them the week before, so you could get a fresh bag of someone else's blood. That's great.
That's awesome. Good for them.
I don't know. Yeah, that's something right there. I was gonna say too. Last Friday was Kathy Nyberg. She had her funeral, and there was like the visitation the couple hours preceding that funeral. So I did end up going to the visitation. I went there during the day, whatever it was, around 11ish, somewhere in there. There was a lot of people. It was kind of nice to see the amount of people, and there was a lot of teachers in particular, with the impact that she had on the school. Then obviously, her, children or, kids-in-law, all of that are part of the school. So to see all the support there was pretty, it was nice to be able to just see that, and just kind of go pay my respects to that family and her and all that. But that went overall. It was, sad thing, but kind of just, keep moving forward with it and appreciate what was happening there. But yeah, that's pretty much everything going on right now in Hibbing. More sports to come up this week and the next few weeks. Kind of moving towards the end of seasons, really. Like there's only a month and a half, not even a month and a half left, I think.
Roughly, yeah. I think most of them wrap up in March for sure.
I think this year we're kind of the earliest we've been a little bit. Our the state tournament is the last weekend of February, so we're
really?
And I think it might be like March 1st is like that Sunday or something, but yeah, everything kind of is wrapping up by the end of February there. And other teams are similar too. Like I say, swim team had true team sections, which I thought was kind of early, but it's getting to that point, I guess. Other news though, some more sports. We have the football. Minnesota has been booted out of that. They were out of playoffs. We did have the super wild card weekend.
It was good. There were some good games.
Surprising.
Even from that first game, when the Browns just got annihilated, the Texans
just stomped
destroyed them. Just dominated.
We were on the wrestling bus back coming up from Elk River that Saturday night, and on one of our we got iPads, to record matches and stuff. And I'm like, wait, let me hook up my hotspot to it, watch the football game on the bus ride back on the big old iPad. I'm like, dang, but just watching C.J. Stroud was phenomenal.
He was.
Packers just stomped on the Cowboys. I love to see that. Just brutally murdered them.
I did not see that. I thought it was going to go the other way because I didn't think either team was going to beat San Francisco. But I thought the Cowboys would take it. But
I was telling everyone, I was at work on Sunday when we were watching that, and I'm like, yeah, before it started, I'm like, let's go, Packers, we're going to just kill Cowboys, we're going to take this. And yeah, you're funny, right? And then they just kept scoring, and I'm like, tell me I'm right. It's okay. I'll be humble. Tell me I'm right. Then the Detroit Lions and the Rams. Oh, that was probably the closest, though. It was 24-23 was the final. Close one. The first win for the Lions in 32 years in the playoffs. First playoff win.
I was kind of surprised at how mean the Lions fans were to Stafford, though. That was rough for him. And it's I don't think he's a nice guy overall, right? Like, I saw a video going into the game of him just like a year or two ago, I think it was, when the Lions were struggling pretty badly with their season, and he was, kind of just giving them some words of encouragement after being, he was their quarterback, right? Like, he was giving them some help while he was like in the Rams, and then now he goes back to Detroit, and that's the welcome he gets. It's tough.
Yeah, Detroit moving on. They, Packers gonna play San Fran, and then the Buccaneers beating the Eagles.
I saw it coming.
Favorite game, I'd have to say. I despise the Eagles and seeing the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, who'd have guessed?
Who'd have guessed?
Who'd have guessed that?
That was and then he right after the game, Jason Kelsey retired. So that he like instantly went to the locker room and told everyone he's done. So
good.
Kind of ended his career even.
Yeah, I saw people were not happy with Jalen Hurts during that game. I saw Goddard going up to him in the stand, in the seats, screaming at him. AJ Brown was out of that. Tough one. And then the Chiefs kind of
gave the Dolphins a little stomp, which I think everyone
it's
saw
the Chiefs,
coming.
right? It's not really out of the ordinary for that. The Dolphins are kind of frauds anyway, so it makes sense for them.
Yeah, Tua was pretty awful.
Yeah, not a good game. But Chiefs moving on. The Chiefs, they play
Buffalo.
Buffalo beat the Steelers. That was kind of a super controversial game, though.
Was.
The Steelers were not happy with that ending, I don't think. I saw George Pickens had some very choice words to say about the reffing during that game. So that was awesome. What are you going to do?
I think even if you take out the refs, though, I think the Bills still beat them.
They did well. The Bills did well. There were some close calls, I get it, but I don't know.
The Steelers are also really bad, I think. And, I don't think it would have changed too much for them.
Yeah. But other Minnesota news for the for sports, the Timberwolves just beat the Clippers the other day. They're sitting at a record of 28-11 right now, still leading the Western Conference. And then they play the Pistons tomorrow on Wednesday. The Minnesota Wild, they
finally got a big win.
Yeah, but they're still struggling heavy.
18, 20, and 5 on the season. But the team they beat was 19, 14, and 10 or something like that.
Oh, really?
So they got it over a winning team overall.
Mm-hmm. And now they play the Lightning on Thursday. They're struggling this year a lot, man. They are not doing so hot.
Too well.
The Professional Women's Hockey League, so this is the first year of it. There's 6 teams. There's 3 U.S. teams, 3 Canadian teams. Minnesota, of course, being one of the U.S. teams. Minnesota's actually leading the league right now. They're 4-1 on the season, I believe. They 4-1 or 3-1. I forget how many games they play. I think maybe 3-1, something like that. But they just had their first loss this past weekend to New York. They lost to New York in overtime. That was at Minnesota. It was down at the XL Energy Center. It was 2-2 going into overtime. I think they lost 3-2 then. And the girls hockey team, actually, the Hibbing and Chisholm girls hockey team, they were at that game. So that's pretty cool for them, I think, for those girls to be able to watch, professional sports for them. Women's sports are growing more, but it's historically not been as large as other sports. But now to give them something like that to see, that's pretty cool. And then now that Minnesota plays Ottawa tomorrow, Wednesday, so hopefully they can get a win there, and I think that's away. I think that's in Ottawa probably. But yeah, that's about everything going on right now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That just about wraps up the week.
Yeah, sports keep moving forward. Good luck to all the teams that playing games or meets or tournaments, whatever it might be this week. Keep moving forward, and we will see you next week on Anchor Down Podcast. Thank you.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support.